Hi guys, so the purpose of this training video is to show you how to edit and create statuses in SmartAdvocate. So the statuses are these entries right here. It basically just gives us a snapshot of where the case is at. The first two, so this first one right here is going to be your primary status. It shows us where that primary claim, usually your liability claim, where is it at? Is it this case being still built up? Are they receiving medical treatment? Is it in the demand phase? Where is it at? This second line right here is going to show you where your secondary claim is at. Usually this is the UIM policy, but sometimes it could be a second liability policy. Basically tells us if we're going to be able to touch it, if it's on hold because we're still developing this primary claim, basically what's going on with that UIM claim. This third one is going to be your treatment type. So how far in treatment has the client gone? Have they received diagnostic testing? Have they gone into pain management? Have they received surgery? That's what that is. And then the treatment status is basically telling you if that treatment is still ongoing and if it's ended. If it's ongoing, it'll tell you if it's under LOP or health insurance, and if it's ended, it'll give you a reason for why the treatment is ended. Now, one other thing I want to touch on before I show you how to edit and create these statuses is this right here is going to be your stage. In our firm, we use 3 stages: pre-lit, mid-lit, and big-lit, and that'll come into play whenever you edit this create a primary status. So I'll show you how to do that first. So the first thing you'll want to do is you're going to go to the admin and you're going to go to status setup. You'll then select what status type. So this first one right here is just going to be status. The second one right here is your secondary status, and then you have your treatment type and treatment status as they're labeled here. So because I'm going to create a new main status, I'm going to go find status on the drop down, and then you'll see everything here is listed whenever you click this pencil button right here. It's everything that's right here. So I am going to right now create a new status for pre-lit, and it's going to be closeout. It's going to be a closeout status, and it's going to be when we're working on dropping a case, but we haven't quite yet dropped it yet. We're just in the process of doing so. So what you're first going to want to do is figure out what category it belongs in, if it's in the demand category, negotiation, settlement, because you'll see we name them in a certain way. So everything that's in the settlement phase is going to be PL.6, and then the letter keeps it in a chronological order. So I know mine is going to be PL.7, and I know it's going to be E because I want it to come after this closeout undead case. Next thing you'll do is you'll hit add new status, and you basically just want to keep the format the same as everything else in the group. So it's going to be PL.7E, closeout, dropping case. The number of days is how many days you expect the case to be in that status for. On dropping a case, it's kind of hard to assign a number of days, and this part doesn't really matter as much, so I'm just going to type in 14. It'll take us about 2 weeks to completely drop the case. Now, because I am updating the status, the main status, I'm going to have to assign it to a stage. If you don't assign it to a stage, whenever you change this status, so for lit, you'll see when I create a status that's for lit, it changes, or I'm sorry, yeah, it changes the stage to litigation. So I'll want to assign that new status I created to the pre-litigation stage, so that way when I select it, we still know that it's still in pre-litigation. So now that I've created my status, in order to assign it to a stage, what you do is you go to admin, and this time you'll go to stages setup. And we want, like I said, we want the status to be assigned to the pre-lit stage. So you'll hit this drop down and find pre-lit. And then this will show you again all of the statuses that are currently assigned to pre-lit stages. And I'm going to go find that PL7E, which is right here, and I'm going to click add and save. This way now, whenever I change, I'm going to actually refresh this. Now when I change this status and find our new one, it keeps it in that pre-lit stage. Now, whenever you're creating statuses for the secondary claim, treatment type, and treatment status, you will not have to assign it to a stage because that only applies for the primary status, which is this top one, like I said. Now, in order to edit a status that has already been created, for example, right now, I'm going to go ahead and edit the diagnostic testing. Let's say we want it to be more specific and say diagnostic MRI, not necessarily diagnostic testing. I'm going to change it back after because we actually do want it to say diagnostic testing, but to show you how to edit, I'm going to change it to diagnostic MRI. So you'll go back to that status setup, not the stages setup, but the status setup, and I'm going to change the status type and find treatment type. And I want to go back to the first page, and you'll see all of our treatment types right here. Now, for the treatment type, you'll see that we actually do have a lot of things assigned to this particular status category that we don't necessarily use. So if you are going to be adding a new treatment type, make sure you add a number and letter first so it pops up near the top and you don't have to scroll through all of those to find it. So I'm going to edit this diagnostic testing. All you do is hit this pencil button right here and just change it to whatever you want it to say. Update, go back to my main page, refresh, and you'll see it automatically changed it to diagnostic MRIs. So that's it. That's how you edit statuses, and make sure you, one last thing, make sure you are, if you are changing or creating a new primary status, that you are assigning it to a stage. It can be pre-lit, it can be litigation or mid-lit. Just make sure you are assigning it to that stage, because if not, this will change completely. If it's not assigned to one of those 3 stages, it'll change this to just status, which we want it to tell us what department it is. So that's it. I hope this video helps. And yeah, bye.